Hi, I'm Chris Pronger, and you are watching Nasty Knuckles Podcast.
You're listening to Nasty Knuckles, the Hockey Outlaws Podcast, with your hosts, Derek Nasty Settlemyre and former Philadelphia Flyer enforcer Riley Cote, as they go behind the scenes with your favorite NHL players. Time to face off.
All right, welcome back. What's happening, Nasty?
What's up, Rigoralia? Look at you in the stew.
Oh, it's been a minute. Been recognized the place.
Been more than a minute.
Yeah, it's been a few.
I mean, we haven't.
A couple months.
Me and Baller haven't actually seen you at all lately.
You been waiting for me?
Well, we waited. You know, banging on the hotel door.
I was busy.
In L.A.
I was drumming.
I saw that. Baller made us well aware of what you were doing. Man, what a trip. Phans of Philly. 3-0. I like to believe I had something to do with the first two.
We
and
did.
I think Baller took over for the third game. But no, what a trip. And again, Joe DiBiagio, what a job this guy does. Over 100 people there.
Yeah, I saw some pics.
It was loud. You could hear us. The Let's Go Flyers chants.
I heard.
Yeah.
I was bummed I couldn't be there. I had, obviously, my daughter's birthday and
yes.
other things, but it looked awesome. The Flyers did well. Some exciting games. They're right in the mix.
They're in the mix, man. Those three wins, it put you back in the race. You know, we'll see if they're going to get there. You know, what are we, 6 points out from that wild card spot, I believe, and 5 behind Columbus, who's in the third spot in the Metro. Big 4-point game tonight.
Yeah, huge.
Big 4-point game tonight. At home, and it hasn't gone well when we've come back from road trips this year, so maybe
that's a good point.
Something goes the other way for the boys tonight, and you make that 4-point swing, and you still got to keep playing the way they're playing, and you need some help as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Prong Daddy can bring some energy into the building tonight.
I'll tell you what. You just put them out for a couple of shifts in front of that net. No one will go near the front of the net.
Yeah, set the tone.
Just set the tone, Shorzy. You have to do it sometimes. But, man, I have to say this for the Flyers, 7 consecutive road wins. Pretty impressive.
That is impressive,
That's the second time in franchise history that's happened.
Critical time of the year, too.
Yeah. I mean, these games, obviously, you know, we'll get into it with our guest, with Chris Pronger, but, you know, like the expectations of people, you want to make it, do you not want to make it? These games are really meaningful, and I think that's important for these younger players, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, I get a taste of that, I'll say that playoff atmosphere, right? The building, the energy, just the critical moments in a hockey player's career where it's, you know, the little details all matter and pulling together and finding a way to get it done. So it's exciting. You know, it's from the start of the year, you know, it was exciting. And then obviously they were in a playoff spot, a good chunk of it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this idea that like they were elevating their style of play. They were finding ways to win games, and obviously they dipped. And there's a few different pieces to the puzzle that you know, maybe say fell apart. But like they're kind of back, you know, with that energy again, and obviously on the outside looking in. But as Bill Prong talks about, like the fight is there, like the desire is there, the compete, the energy, the attitude, all those really important variables are there. And they're, you know, again, like this, at least right now, they're finding ways to win these games, tight games. So it's exciting.
It is exciting,
even though it's not exactly where the team wants to be, but like, you know, you just got to own where you're at and just find a way to get her done.
So you say there's a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
Unless you're mathematically out.
Which they're not.
They're not.
Not yet. I did want to bring up in Anaheim, Baller and I talked a lot about this, but the fourth line, Coots and Glendale, they were so good that game, you know, and all those little things you need.
Is that the game he scored? Glendenning there?
He scored,
popped it out there in front?
yeah. But that line was so good.
Hounding the puck, right? That forecheck.
They're all over, but Coots, Glendenning, and Barkey are out for the next 2 games, right, Baller? The next 2 games they're out, which doesn't help. Andre's been playing forward. It's worked. The last two games for what it's worth, and Garrett Wilson getting called up, playing in NHL for the first time since 2019.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him, and to go into San Jose, shed the mitts with Revo. Holy,
Revo.
I didn't expect that, honestly. Like I knew he fought quite a bit in the minors, like, even as an older guy. The last 5 or 6 years being in Lehigh.
Yep.
But had no idea, that I guess when you get your the recall after that many years, you want to leave an impression and you want to leave it all out there. So he did exactly what he needed to do and did a really, really good job.
Yeah, he did.
So I love hearing stories like that.
I do too.
Just that relentlessness. You just never quit, right? I mean, just keep going. Take advantage of the opportunity when it comes along.
Yep. And he probably thought maybe his days were over. Like he hasn't been up for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
Since 2019. Yeah. I mean, but good for him, man. And like you said, he stepped up to the plate there.
And did great.
He did a great job. Did a great job, man. Tippett, Cates, and Michkov have been pretty hot lately. And we kind of talked about this with Prongs as well, but since the break, I think you've noticed with Matvey, like he's definitely trying to buy into the system and the little things of maybe it's a 2-1 game, getting the puck in deep, like we talked about. But he's also been rewarded by Toc and the coaching staff. He was out there the other night. Baller and I were at the game with 2 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. He's out there 3-on-3. Like he should be out there 3-on-3, but he's also, if he's out there, he's got to be aware of everything else, which, he ends up with a game-winning assist, almost scored. But I think it's been nice to see him like getting those minutes late. I think that's what everybody wants, but at the same time, he does have to play the right way.
Yeah,
and earn those minutes, right? And that's what he's been doing lately. So good for him.
Yeah, exactly. And he seems to be playing with a little bit more jam, like a little more speed, maybe.
Yeah,
like he just looks a little bit quicker. So it's I don't know. It's nice to see, like, since the Olympic break, that he has definitely turned it on some level. Obviously, Tippett's seems like he's found another gear too. I mean, I don't know if he looks faster or just more dominant, but he seems to, have that swagger. But I mean, I like Michkov's response to the backlash from the media or whatever you want to call it. But he seems to have at least owned his part in it.
Yes,
playing the game with a little more authority. It seems to be like more aware defensively, and as you mentioned, get rewarded for it. So nice to see guys stepping up.
It is. I'm excited for the game tonight. Like I said, it's a 4-point game. It'll probably go to overtime because all these games are going to, this time of year, all these games are going to overtime. But scoreboard watching as well. And I would love to see the Flyers get in.
Oh, man.
Sneak in and just the city and have these kids see what it's like. And all you got to do is get in. We know that. It's not going to be easy, but if they could find a way to get in there, man, I think it'd be so much fun.
Yeah, and I think if they just keep playing the way they are, say the right way, but the attitude, I think, is what jumps out to me. They're just Prongs mentioned, like they look like a team, like they look like a team. Just keep playing this way, being hard to play against. You never know, and to me, it's going to be right down to the last game of the season.
It could.
Seems
go
like
that
it
way.
generally goes that way, but
I hope it does because it makes it more exciting.
It does, and then again, like, you carry over how you finish into the playoffs as long as you're healthy and all that good stuff. But like, if you don't want to, say you don't. The Flyers aren't in the position they're going to have a couple games to just get too relaxed.
Right.
But like, you could see how that could maybe work against you if you put your feet up and get too comfortable. But that's not happening. Not with them anyways. So it'll be a grind.
It's going to be a grind. We'll see what happens, man.
We'll see what happens.
Once again, just want to thank Phans of Philly. Awesome time. Baller, I owe him something. I'm not going to get into it right now. I played a little joke on me the other night. Had me worried, but I'll get him back. Don't worry, Baller.
I know you will. I'm sure for those
get
snakes.
You and Joe and poor Todd. I don't think Todd knew what he was doing.
In
Our
that
friend,
video clip?
he definitely didn't know. We cannot post that video clip. But anyway, no, we had a great time, and Baller luckily didn't get left at Alcatraz because he went and visited.
Yeah.
they didn't leave him in there. So
that's good. He's back.
It was awesome.
He's behind the
Riles,
camera.
what do we got coming up May 16th?
We got Let's Play 3v3 at Hollydale.
Hollydale Ice Arena.
Yeah, be sure to sign up and get your spot because they're disappearing quickly.
They're running out. Yeah, they are
filling up.
running out.
But it's going to be another good time.
Can't
Have
wait.
some fun. Get after it. And do what every kid loves to do. Just play.
Just play.
Play the game. 3v3,
Just play.
a lot of space out there. Get creative. Make plays. And haven't announced it yet, but we're going to give you a little tickle here. It's going to be an adult division.
That's right. I can't wait.
Sorting out the details, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
We're ready to rock, Nast.
We are?
Episode 229. The Prong Daddy, Chris Pronger in the house.
The Beast.
The Beast. Presented to you by Camden Apothecary. Driving hours outside of the city for your cannabis needs makes no sense when Camden Apothecary is just 5 minutes from Center City. It's right over the Ben Franklin Bridge, easy to get to, no crazy wait times, and they've got everything you'd expect from a solid dispensary. Top shelf product from the brands people actually want. You can walk in or order ahead online if you already know what you're after. They keep the process simple, the shelves stocked, and the vibes chill. Locally owned, no corporate weirdness, just a real shop run by real people who care about product and the community. They're open 7 days a week, right off 676 at 1205 Haddon Avenue in Camden, New Jersey, with a huge parking lot. Hit CamdenApothecary.com to check out the menu or place an order. Again, that's Camden Apothecary, real close, real solid. Welcome back. I'm Riley Cote.
And I'm Derek Settlemyre and Riggs.
Got him.
We got him locked in. Don't really need an introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. I shortened it because it would take a half an hour. But the former number 2 overall pick in 1993, Riggs, by Hartford Whalers. Beautiful Hartford.
Whale.
Veteran of 1,167 NHL games. Stanley Cup winner. Hart Trophy, Norris Trophy, plus minus award, Bud Light. I don't know how many we might have shared of those over the years. He won that twice. 2-time Olympic champion. We could step into this year's if we want the Olympics, but and inducted into the NHL Hall of Fame in 2015. Our good friend and former teammate, and I must add, best-selling author.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be coming his way. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Pronger.
Thank you. Thank
What's
you.
up?
Daddy, what's
Nasty, rigatoni.
How you doing, man?
Good.
I got to
See ya.
tell you this, Riggs. We're in Anaheim with Phans of Philly, and I'm talking to these guys, a few guys around us, and all of a sudden, I see this large human walk by me, and I turn, and I'm like, Beast!
It looks familiar.
I'm just like, Beast! And he like whips around right away, and he's like, yo! So the best part of it is our one friend, Tom, he went in to the bathroom. So he comes back out and he's leaving. He goes, worst piss ever. He missed.
Tough timing on that, right?
It was so funny, but I think he ended up jumping in a picture, didn't he, Ball? Yeah, he ended up jumping in a picture after
that's
that.
great.
But Beast, what's up, man?
Not much, gentlemen. It's good to be here.
Yeah, been a
Finally
minute.
made it
I know.
in person.
Yeah.
Yes, we love it.
Yeah.
Little connection here.
Yeah, it's been some time since we
It's been a
last
hot
connected.
minute.
Yeah, this is 3.0 in
This
person.
is actually, yeah, but this is number 1.
Number 1 in person, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So you're in town for a little
In town,
book, marketing?
taking in the Flyers Columbus game.
Big game.
Huge tilt for both teams.
Yep.
That's right.
A lot of playoff implications involved in this one, which we like to see this time of year.
Exactly.
Keeps it interesting. It's good to get that sense and that feel of meaningful game. See how you react.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
When you haven't had that in a while, so it'll be interesting to see what type of game the Flyers bring to the table here.
Yep.
I know Columbus lost a heartbreaker. I think their last game.
Yeah,
so
last game, yep.
they'll have to see if they can turn the tide. But Fly Guys at home on home ice.
Yep.
We'll see how they do.
After a few game road trip there.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a hell of a trip.
Success, yeah.
Really good
Yeah.
trip. Really good trip.
They played really well.
They did. Beast, you're in town about your book.
Yeah, earned.
The True
Earned.
Cost of Greatness.
From one of hockey's
costly.
fiercest competitors.
That's right.
You saw it firsthand.
I did get to see it.
Yeah,
I
you
did
did.
get to see it. Do you remember Game 1 in Carolina as a Philadelphia Flyer, his first shift? Comes back to the bench. As soon as he touches the puck, boos, like Cutter. Even when we were in Anaheim, this kid's touching the puck in Anaheim.
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
the 100-plus fans of Philly fans booing him. But he comes back to the bench, steps over. Boys, don't worry, that's just my nickname, Lou. Call me Lou. I just started dying. I'm like, I love this guy.
Oh, it's so good.
This is fucking awesome. Lou.
Get used to it. It's going to happen in every building.
Yeah, right.
Don't take offense.
That's right. So you obviously are super excited about your book. You want to
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, no, it kind of been a labor of love. It's kind of kicked tires on writing a book for a number of years, and just felt like the time was right now. Lots to say. Really the book is about a little bit more of part memoir, life lessons gleaned from youth hockey, NHL career, and then post-playing career, and kind of, what you can learn from either A, a professional athlete, or B, somebody on the rise, or on the other side of it.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
so many different parts to an NHL career and life in general. And really, it's more just about accountability, leadership, setting standards and upholding them,
Right.
and taking ownership of your life and your career, and kind of, we always hear people say, "Oh, geez, I wish I could." Like, why don't you?
Yeah, right.
What's holding you back?
Yeah, exactly.
You're the one holding
the
it
fear,
back,
right? Yeah.
fear of failure or
Whatever
fear
it
of
is. Yeah.
challenge, whatever it is. And so the book kind of really steps into a lot of that stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And you obviously you've been out of the game for some time, and you have a different perspective on it all. Some time to kind of, I guess, contemplate and marinate in that.
Yeah.
Like, can you share what it's like writing the book, but also like, from this place of of understanding the game from just the highest level, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Because when you're in it and you're just retired, there's a lot of emotions still attached to it and stuff. Like just being able to create that space from it.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm glad I waited.
Yeah.
It was asked a couple years later after my career was over, and asked 5 years later. I have a much better perspective on my career, but life in general, and just all the different things, the trials and tribulations of my career, pre, post, everything. So able to really kind of digest it all and really disseminate it so that people can understand the life lessons involved and how it can translate to them and help them have a greater impact, be difference makers in their own lives, whatever the case may be. And so, and the interesting part was kind of looking back on it and looking back on different situations. What would I have done different? Would I have done anything different? And to your point, taking the emotion out and just really looking at it from the 50,000-foot view of like, okay, knowing what I know now, would I have changed anything? And I talk to my kids a lot about not playing the what if game. We always hear people, well, what if I did this instead?
Yeah.
Well, what if I didn't quit and I did this? And what? But you didn't. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
You didn't. So why are you thinking about it?
Yeah.
We don't live life looking at the rearview mirror. We live life going this way.
Yep.
Like, focus on this. You made this decision. Great. Live with it. Would you change it? Maybe. Then
Exactly.
steer your
learn
course a
from
little
it.
bit different.
That's
Learn
right.
from it. Adapt from it. And then iterate and keep moving forward. And I think that's a lot of the book is just about, we all have hard decisions throughout the course of our lives. Learn from them, deal with it, move on, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And really kind of be willing to be dedicated and sacrifice and lean into adversity and failure and grow from it and hope to, continue to be getting better.
Right. And as you're writing it, do you find that you're like learning more about yourself, like going back in time and making sense of your mentality in certain situations?
Yeah, I think the early, especially my hockey career, just early success, junior on in getting to the NHL. And then I have, people always seem to forget My first 3 years were not ideal.
Yeah.
A lot of booing on home ice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Home ice, not so good. On the road, very good. So, in that regard, looking back on it, just what those difficult moments did for my career and how they really kind of catapulted me to success, and just, number one, not letting it define me, not letting it hinder me or hurt me, and using that adversity to understand the grit and resilience that it was creating, so that when I got injured or when I lost the game 7 or when I what have you, you can pick up the pieces real quick and understand, okay, another life lesson, get moving, learn from it, use it, and keep going forward. And those were the hardest days. That my third year, my first in St. Louis, was the worst ever. And
I remember you saying that.
Having gone through that, there was nothing that was going to compare to that pain.
Yeah.
That a whole city coming down on top of you.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
The anxiety, the
especially
pressure,
18 years old.
depression of like your world's crumbling around you and you're struggling. You're questioning everything you do on the ice. Then you're questioning everything you do off the ice.
Oh, sure.
And it, it could be debilitating and paralyzing. And so, for me, having gone through that, everything else after that was a cakewalk.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When you explain it that way, and you deal with that level of pressure, and
and I talk about in the book, like I talk about the whole Edmonton situation. I'm like, while it sucked to get booed and people still throw jabs at me, I'm like, that's nothing compared to what I went through.
Yeah,
Nothing.
right.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, it's not even close. You go there once or twice for games and you're gone.
Yeah.
You're living in a city getting booed and people are waiting for you out by your car to tell you suck and challenge you. And I'm like, well, by the end of it, I'm like, well, let's go then.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right.
Can you dig in a little deeper on that? Because you're the highest pick,
Yeah.
and you're in a situation where the pressure is, I guess, getting to you on some level, right? Like, I don't think most people, fans, youth hockey players, understand, well, this is the level of pressure that, we allow, or whatever, however you want to describe it. But like, how do you mentally battle through that? Offer some insight on like how you got through those hard times, because I know everyone goes through their version of hard times, but
I would say it was more, I don't know so much the pressure of more the expectations of their expectation. Number one, who I got traded for,
right?
Where I got picked, who I got traded for, how much money I was making,
right?
All that stuff. My lack of preparation, my lack of understanding of there's jobs at stake. I think being young, 18, 19, 20, you're in the league, for lack of a better term, you're happy to be there, but you're just excited to be in the National Hockey League, and you're excited to, learn your trade and all the rest of it. But the GM is trying to keep his job. The head coach is trying to keep his job. The assistant coach is trying to keep it. The trainer is trying to keep his job.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The third and fourth line guys are trying to keep their jobs.
Sure.
The star players are like, I like it here, and on and on, up and down the roster and all the way permeating throughout the organization. Everybody's jobs are on the line, and you don't understand that as a young kid.
That's right.
And so as I immediately learned that real quick after that. Guys coming and going, and I'm on my second stop already, and like, a lot of hard conversations, a lot of with Mike Keenan, our GM and coach.
Right.
A lot of conversations with assistant coaches, a lot of conversations with ownership. I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and they're like, "Yeah, do you remember they flew in your parents?" Like, it was they tried all kinds of things. Like that was the reason why I wasn't playing good. I'm like, my mom and dad are there. Like, what are they going to do? First off, are they going to play? Can my dad help me here? What is mommy and daddy going to do to help me on the ice here? But, when you kind of pull back some of the layers, you look at it, it's like, when is it going to click in? How committed you have to be? How accountable to not only yourself, but your teammates and the organization, the city, all those things. Like, when is that part going to click? And, for a lot of players, it doesn't. Some players it does, and it happens later, and some it happens earlier. And it just happened that midway through that year, it just kind of clicked. I started getting in better shape. I started understanding what the expectation was, how I needed to play consistently at that level, and what it was going to take to play at that level. Obviously having Holly and Al McInnes and some of these guys, and then we get Gretzky, and you're able to kind of see how he handled the notoriety and the scrutiny from media, fans, all the rest of it. And, that also diverted the attention of the fan base from me to him.
Right.
And I was already starting to see the light a little bit and play a little better, get in better shape. And then once the attention went over there, I was able to play a little freer, really started to come into my own at that point on into the playoffs. We beat Toronto in the playoffs, lost that heartbreaker to Detroit and the slap shot from the blue line, whatever. and then the next year, had a great summer of training, and then things kind of really took off, and the light bulb moment, and then things were rocking and rolling from there.
Yeah, there you go.
You obviously had a very successful junior career there in Peterborough. Did you not, when you were there, I don't want to make it sound like you're being cocky, but maybe you weren't. Did you have to prepare as much because you're a big kid, you could skate, you had everything?
Yeah,
so
I was a rink rat. Like, okay. I loved practicing. I loved being at the rink. I didn't love the gym, but back then there wasn't a lot of gym time per se. But I loved being at the rink. I loved practicing. So I did a lot of cardio skating, and things of that nature. But I wasn't physically gifted, from a weight training standpoint and things like that. So that part came later. So I think that was that, and obviously that's the big difference going from junior where you're with kids.
Yeah.
Now you're playing against men.
Of course. Yeah.
And
it's different. It
is a huge. I mean, I don't think people realize how big of a jump that is.
Right. And especially at your age. You're a kid, man.
Yeah. And I'm tall. People are like, oh my God, you're so big. I'm like, oh no, I'm tall.
Yeah, right.
Being tall and being big are two different things.
It's too bad you couldn't get on the rigatoni diet that he was on when.
Yeah, right. The eat everything diet.
And the weight training.
Yeah, the weight training. Yeah.
Yeah. No, stung by a bee.
Yeah, it slowed me down. Yeah, it certainly didn't help my performance.
But no, I can't.
Let's be serious.
I can only imagine how hard that was being so young, man.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids your age are either still playing junior, still playing, just getting into college, and like you said.
Well, and I think that was one of the things that was the hardest for me and kind of pissed me off the most. I'm like, well, all my buddies are in college, they're all having fun. Here I am, miserable. Yeah, I'm playing, I'm living my dream and I'm playing in the NHL, but the world is falling in around me and on top of me, and I'm watching talking to my buddies, and they're all having the time of their life at college, and I'm like, a little bit of imposter syndrome and a little bit of like, I just want to be a fucking kid.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And and they're people are telling me how to talk, how to act, where to go, what to do, and I'm just like, it was almost like I was pushing back against the man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm going to do it my way. Maybe a little hard-headed at times.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's all right.
That's necessary, I think, in this crazy world, but in the sport of hockey, right? I mean, you need to be a little bit of an outlaw, right? I mean, you don't follow the rules perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of gray areas, as you know, rigatoni.
High elbows,
sticks,
some sticks,
some
hacks,
warrior stick, some damage. I was going to ask you, Prongs, like you've seen. A little more you're always on X or whatever you call it, Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing. And, talking about hockey, maybe hockey plays, teams, all that stuff. And also like on the panel with Amazon and seen on Hockey Night in Canada as well. How's it been getting more back into hockey? I know, like, you never left, but you know what I mean. Are you enjoying
more
it more?
Engaged.
You're more engaged, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I think the thing that I'm liking about the media side is I get a much better perspective of what's going on around the whole league. When you're immersed with one team, you know about that team.
Yeah.
And you know everything about that team, but you don't really know what's going on around the league.
Right.
And so when you're doing a national broadcast, you get a good sense of what's going on in the East, what's going on in the West, what's going on with all the teams and players and, ownership, management, everything. And so you have a much better understanding of kind of the lay of the land and where things are navigating towards. And so, did the Ranger game last night. 9 shots on net. Not too good.
How long did it take him to finally get the one?
Buddy, I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm looking up, and it's 11-0, and I'm like, and JT Miller had a partial breakaway, missed the net, so it didn't count, but I'm just like,
oh boy,
they had one scoring chance.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes of play.
Yeah.
And it was a mistake by Ottawa.
Yeah.
That they even got it. They shouldn't, if they didn't turn the puck over there and it was a dumb turnover, they wouldn't have even gotten a shot.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Man.
Like it was, and the fact that it was Zibanejad's 1,000th game.
I know, right?
And they just, the ice, it wasn't tilted. It was like a mountain.
Yeah.
They were going up the Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Like, it was tilted so bad, it was just like an onslaught. Ottawa was just like coming.
It was crazy. I watched it. It was the only game on.
Yeah.
But it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was
that
tough
bad?
to watch, man. It was.
Yeah, imagine being there watching as a fan.
As a fan, I know. They got the old Bronx cheer when they finally got that first shot.
Yeah. Well, and where our booth was, you know, where the catwalk is for the media, you know, you can see the fans over here to the left. The rink's over here to the right. You see, and they're just sitting there like this, like
Can't believe it.
they're like in a glaze, like, oh my God, am I watching this?
Well, I got to ask you, because we've talked about it before, and any interest in front office for a team, or?
I've been asked this a lot recently with all of the stuff on X and all, as you talk about social media. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I tell people, after what I said during the lockout in 04, I will never play under a salary cap. And what happened? I played under salary cap. So,
To move the goalpost.
to say the word never, I've kind of removed that out of my vocabulary because that's pretty strong and probably is not accurate. It would take a lot to want to leave what I'm doing now. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, as I talked about, just kind of understanding and seeing the league and everything. But I'm not going to say no, I would never do it, but it would take a pretty special opportunity.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just enjoying what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're obviously learning as you go, too, right? And
this year's been, I've been traveling a lot this year.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, doing Amazon Prime, doing Hockey Night Canada, doing local St. Louis games. So getting a lot of reps, kind of getting my feel for it and finding my own little shtick.
Yeah, and it's fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you just bring your personality, your hockey IQ, and what you've learned, and that's it, really.
And
Just
you know
talking
what?
shop.
Frankly, I really don't care. If you don't like what I have to say, if you're a player, it's no different. Like, if you're a player and you don't want me to talk bad about you, play better.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
buddy. You know, it's like Connor McDavid right now. Like, you're complaining about everything. I go, you can control how you play defensively, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you can be better. Right. Like, I get, it's a team game. Starts at the top and works all the way down. You're the captain. You have control in that locker room. You can make them play better defensively.
Yeah.
Right.
It's starting with yourself. As you know, it all starts with you first.
Yep.
And then you hope that permeates throughout the locker room, throughout the players. And you got to be, it's just about commitment.
Yeah.
And number one, believing, and then being committed and then executing.
And you seem like you do a good job at being like fair and honest, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to look at both sides of it, right? I mean, you're a human. You played it. You did it. I mean,
yeah. There's positive moments where players are awesome, and I'm like, hey, that was a fantastic play. And then there's an equal and opposite reaction of that was not so good.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think people respect that because they see it too.
Yeah.
They're like, well, how did that breakdown happen? Where was the mistake? What should have happened in that scenario or situation? Like last night, I talked about. In the post game, Brady Tkachuk got the puck with it was maybe 45 seconds, and he was just outside the Rangers' blue line, and he didn't chip it all the way in. He tried to beat a guy
and
turned it over.
It's
a 2-1 game.
It's a 2-1 game.
Finish the game.
Yeah.
Chip it in deep and go get it.
Yeah.
Like force it down there, make him go 200 feet. Instead, he turned the puck over. They go down the other way, and they almost score.
yeah.
Yeah.
And and I'm just trying to tell people, I'm like. Winning hockey games. Like, are we about winning hockey game? What are we trying to do here?
Right.
Are we a winning team? Are we a playoff team? Are we a Stanley Cup contending team? Or are we a championship team?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Championship teams know how to close out games.
Yes.
They are very efficient, and they are all on the same page. It's going in, and everybody's going, and we're going to put our foot on your throat and finish you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna leave this space here
Yeah,
and just
there's
create an
gonna
extra
be-
scoring chance of it.
There's going to be no doubt.
Right. Yeah.
That's perfect lead into this question because the Flyers are, I don't want to say limited offensively team, but they kind of are, right?
Yeah.
They're in the middle of this rebuild. We've been doing this for a while, but I was going to ask you your thoughts on their season as much as you've been able to follow it, because a lot of their games are not pretty.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of shots either. Sometimes I know we talk about that a lot, but there's a certain way you got to play when you have a team like that to try to get into the playoffs. And just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think, just based on that last road trip, you can see the effort to compete. And I think that's the biggest thing with a team that's not flush with offensive weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about compete and how you play defensively, how you complete as a group. And they seem to have started to come together. They're playing hard. They're playing physical. They're playing together. Mm-hmm. They're just not talented enough.
Right.
So there's a limit to what they can accomplish at this particular moment. They've got some young guys coming. Are they going to pan out? That's the $1 billion question.
Yeah.
Always.
It's always like, well, we've got these young guys coming, and they have to develop. They have to take that next step. And I just talked about my first 3 years. It takes time.
It takes time.
Look at Michkov.
exactly.
It's not that simple. Just say, well, he's got a lot of talent. Well, that's great, but so does everybody else in the league.
Yes.
It's the best league in the world for a reason.
Yeah.
And so it's not that easy. So a lot of things need to play into it. You got to have players develop, and a little bit of luck in getting a player. Maybe I'm not going to say they slip, but pan out more so than maybe another player will.
Right.
Where you're selecting, and you want the pieces to come together. There's a lot of things that play into it. And by the way, there's a lot of teams that are in the same boat as the Flyers, trying to do the same thing.
Exactly.
So, you've got San Jose going through a rebuild. You got Chicago. I mean, look at Chicago's. How many times are they going to pick in the top three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that Philly hasn't even picked in the top three.
No.
Yeah.
Chicago's picking the top three like 5 years in a row.
It's crazy.
So you start
that's
from
true.
through it all, right?
Yeah.
They're the Oilers now of
Right.
of the last decade.
Yeah.
So it's from that perspective, and I know people here don't want to hear, you got to be patient, but you're in the midst of it now. It's not going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't fast track these players. They can't make, and I get they want to look at what Jet Luchenko and all these guys are doing, Porter Martone and all these guys are doing in college and junior. Frankly, it really doesn't matter. It matters how they're developing, but if a guy's getting 25 goals in junior, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's what are they going to do in the AHL? What are they going to do in the NHL?
Right.
As they continue their process of maturing and developing and getting to that next level, you can't fast track it.
You're right. You're so.
If anything, if you try to fast track it,
that's where
they're going to regress. You're going to stunt their growth, and it's like forcing a guy to play in a top six role when he's not ready.
That's right.
We had this conversation yesterday before the game, talking about that Gabe Pro in New York. At the beginning of the year, Mike Sullivan wanted to play him with good players. So he put him in the top six role. What he didn't understand is, number one, he's 20. Number two, now he's getting top matchups. So
Right.
not only are you, great, you're playing with top players, which I get, awesome, but you're getting the top matchups. Mm-hmm. You're not ready. You're not physically mature enough. You're not ready you don't understand the league yet. You don't have the experience. And so now you feel like you're being overwhelmed.
Right.
And your confidence is being crushed. And then they send him back down. Then when they bring him back up, they play him in a bottom six role to kind of get him better matchups, get him more comfortable, get him some confidence, and then they can move him back up the lineup.
Right.
And now he's got a better understanding of how good players are, how big and strong they are, and that perspective, I think, gives that development curve and that understanding of what the expectation looked like, the types of pressure you're going to feel, the power and strength you're going to feel from players. And then you can kind of, navigate from there. But it's, it's a challenge, So, and everybody's on their own path and their own curve, development curve.
Right.
Like some guys are faster than others. And why is that? I don't know.
Exactly.
It took me, albeit I was great some games and not great other games, But that consistency factor, the less you're doing this and the more you're just like this, the more a team can rely on knowing exactly how you're going to be able to play.
Right.
And then build around you.
Yeah, and people forget like how different every player is, as you just mentioned. Like, you know, I say a top 5 pick, everyone's so different, maturity, physically, mentally, emotionally, and very few guys can step in like a Matthew Schaefer and do what he does, right? I mean, he's probably got all the boxes checked physically, you know what I mean, to be able to do what he's done.
Look at Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah,
and
Celebrini, exactly.
Well, let's make the comparison.
Right.
Look at Connor Bedard and then Macklin Celebrini. 2 number 1 picks, opposite years. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, Connor Bedard's been excellent, but he hasn't been Macklin Celebrini.
That's right.
Kid's unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah.
And just sometimes about luck, the year you're picking. Who's available?
Right.
Right? What does the landscape look like? You know, there's other years like you know, again, I go back to the game last night. Lafreniere, first overall. He was the consensus first overall pick.
Right.
Like, it's not like they made a mistake. He was the first overall pick. Capo Caco, second overall. They didn't make a mistake. Like, he was he was going to be the second overall pick.
Right.
You know, but it's just that's the talent pool for that particular year. Mm-hmm. They ebb and flow. This whole generational talent thing, there are not that many.
Right.
Every year, there's not a generational talent.
Exactly.
Like, we have to stop saying we have to stop talking like that. Like, oh my God, this guy's the GOAT. This guy, like, everybody's the GOAT. I'm like, you can't have that many GOATs.
Yeah.
I don't know if people even know what greatest
means. Yeah.
greatest of all time means. The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The. So that means there's one.
The top 100.
That means there's one.
GOATs.
Yeah. We're not calling the top 100 GOATs. It is the greatest of all time. And that's subjective, but that's one.
Yeah, you're so
right. I was going to ask you about Rick Tocchet and how you thought he's done so far this year. I mean, it's, you know, he's coming in from Van, where that was kind of a mess there. But he's coming here. Yeah, seemed like it from the outside.
Yeah.
From that high level view.
The 500. Yeah. No, but just what's your thoughts on Toc? You know, and how you think he's doing so far this year?
Yeah, I think, you know, having not been, you know, here in the marketplace day to day and getting I get a pretty good sense on X and you know, from the media and reading some clippings and whatnot. You know, I think expectations again. Like, where is the team at? What was the expectation of the fan base versus what's the expectation of the team and the organization?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And where they're at on the development path of a lot of these young players. You know, the veteran players that are here. Where do they fit in the roster now and moving forward? You know, and also, what was his expectation as to how he was going to coach the team, the style of play? What was he going to bring back here to Philly, having played here for so many years?
Yep.
You know, so you know, I think it's been a bit of a mixed bag. You know, I think everybody thinks, you know, and I'll go back to what I talked about with Gabe Pro, Michkov, and some of these young guys. Everybody thinks we just got to let them go. You can crush the development of these young players if you just, oh, go ahead, here, Matt, here's 25 minutes a night.
Right.
100%.
With no repercussions, make all the mistakes in the world. You have to create good habits.
That's right.
You have to, you know, there's a recipe for developing young players. It's not like it's a secret.
Right.
You can't just let them run amok and do whatever they want. We've seen that in other organizations, and it's exploded and imploded. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there has to be some structure. There has to be some discipline.
Right.
Have to create good habits. You have to teach them how to be good pros and learn, you know, especially if you're him, learn the NHL game. He's got to learn English. There's a lot of things that are playing into this with that kid, specifically him. But, you know, as an overall team, it's just creating good habits. Like, I think you're starting to see this team right now have good habit. They work hard, consistently work hard every night. They play hard. They play a physical game for the most part. You know, they've got some skilled guys that, you know, aren't going to run through guys, but every team has that.
Right.
But it's how they compete on pucks. Like,
Yeah, right. They're hard on it.
Like, we look at Tampa Bay. Like that Kucherov is highly competitive.
Yeah.
He wants the puck all the time. When he loses the puck, he wants it back. Macklin Celebrini, same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Those that compete level, everybody can have that. It's not like that's a sometimes thing or he was born with that. No, he learned that.
Right.
That's a learned trait. And so you get that competitive fire going, you get that juice going of, I want to win every shift. I want to win every battle. I want to win. I just want to win. And that comes from coaching and all the rest of that stuff. So that's the type of stuff you want to see Rick Tocchet instill in his team. And then you want, as these supposed offensive weapons come into the lineup, now they've learned that the team plays like that. They get brought into that mix, and now the talent level brings it to the next level.
Right.
And so that's what I would hope is kind of the underlying messaging.
Yeah.
It's just when you don't, they're just not as skilled. They're just not as talented as some other teams that they play. So they've got to win with compete and effort.
Exactly.
We
Playing the right way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that playing the right way then translates when you're bringing these talented guys in.
Exactly. There's a
They
way.
need to understand you got to play the right way.
That's it.
I don't care how talented you are. You have to play the right way to win in this league.
Exactly.
It's not a secret.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. We've talked about after the break, after the Olympic break. I feel like Michkov's been more aware of the defensive end, and Talk has put him out there the other night. We were at the game in L.A. Last 2 minutes, he's on the ice. That wasn't happening, and there was a reason. Yeah. But like you said, the fans are like, I don't care, let him.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
If you want to win. And he's learning,
But it's not only not if you want to win, it's if you want to develop.
Exactly.
You got to earn your ice time. You don't get given ice time. You got to earn it. You got to be trusted. Show that you understand. We're up by a goal late in the game. I will put you out there. I will put you out there, but you have to understand your role. What's the responsibility in this situation? This is the expectation. Go show me you can do it. You've shown in the past. Now let's go do it again. And now you're going to get more ice time. You're going to get more opportunity. You're going to get your power play minutes, but it's you gotta score goals 5-on-5.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can't just live and die by the power play. It's not.
We're definitely not living. Power play right now. No offense to Yogi, my buddy, but I mean, we're just not. Just can't get a bounce right now.
Yeah.
Can't get anything.
A couple bounces.
Can't get anything going right now. But maybe that turns around. I think they really Prongs. We've talked about this as well. Tyson Forrester being out has really hurt them. This kid can absolutely shoot a puck, man, and he's a physical guy. Just everything. He's a hound.
Big, strong kid.
Strong kid.
Riggs calls his stick a pool skimmer. He's got that long stick, but
great forechecking stick. Blowing up plays. But I think the Flyers have when I think of their forecheck, I think of Forrester, and he hasn't been in the lineup forever. But they seem like they're playing with that level of intensity, in the forecheck, and
they have. They seem like they have since the break. The break was
pucks.
good. Yep. The other thing that I think people don't understand is this schedule. Last year, this year, right in the middle of this rebuild. If you're not practicing, you're not developing.
Yeah,
it's hard to coach and teach in a game.
Yeah,
right.
You're focused on trying to whether you're getting matchups, whatever you're worried about. You're not focused on, I need to talk to this kid to teach him. You got a game to coach.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of times that's the assistant coach's job during the course of the game.
Right.
And without practice, how are you walking through teaching and all the rest of that stuff and developing the players? Where we used to have a lot of practice time, they hardly. I think maybe I was talking to Ottawa. He's like, Travis Green said they might. The rest of the year, they might get one practice. Maybe.
Well, I know.
Maybe, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, actually.
So if you're a young team and you're a developing team and you get one practice, where are you teaching? I mean, you can, and as you know, you can show people video all they want, but if you can't physically walk through it on the ice,
that's right.
Yeah,
and game simulation and do things, you're not learning. You're not able to really grasp and understand the concept.
Yeah. Only even the Flyers got back from the road trip and they didn't skate Sunday. They had an optional yesterday, just to give guys that's
get a sweat.
And then today I think they have a morning skate. But you're right.
Basically, all their practices, when you think about it, are all pregame skates.
That's exactly what
So
they're doing.
they're doing power play and penalty kill in pregame skate just to make sure they get the touch.
Right.
With special teams is so important. But then that's
You can't
it.
do
You're
anything else.
just getting a feel for the puck. You're getting your gear. You're loosening up, working on special teams, and then you're done. Where are you teaching?
Right.
Where are you learning and understanding different concepts that you may or may not grasp yet?
That's right. Who do you like on the Flyers? So maybe start with maybe the back end.
Yeah.
Do you liked the Drysdale's progress?
I think he's had a much improved year.
Yeah.
And I think he's had so many injuries
Yes.
from junior all the way now through into his pro career. I don't think people realize how much that stunts your growth.
Yeah.
Especially at such a young age, coming in at 18. Every year it seemed like he was having either a major surgery
Yeah.
or a major injury that was affecting, a number of games and development and whatnot. And the type of player he is, type of player he was in junior. I went and scouted him and watched him. He's taking the puck and wheeling, and you can do that in junior. You can't do that in the NHL.
Right.
And so, there was a learning curve there that he had to understand how to change his game and alter it a little bit and let the puck do the work for you and then move your feet and all these things. And that takes a little bit of time. And I think he looks to me like he's just starting to get that part and then defending.
Right.
He was an offensive weapon in junior, understanding how to defend properly. Again, bigger, stronger, faster players. And oh, by the way, the best of the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And now you're getting those top matchups. You're in the top 4. You're getting the top 6 of the other team.
Yes.
So understanding the game and experiencing and learning all those things is critical to the development of the player, and especially on defense. It's the hardest position to learn and grasp and really have an understanding as to when you see a player, you see a line matchup, or you see your matchup, what they're going to do or how they're going to try to come at you. And if you understand that right away, because of your experience and having played against them before, or players similar to that, or seen highlights and you go, oh, I saw that play. I know exactly what this player is going to do. It's having that recall of how to defend a situation. And it feels like he's starting, you can see in his eyes, he's processing, he's scanning and viewing everything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he's overwhelmed. He looks like he's soaking in the information and is able to process it quick and make a decision and either how to defend or then how to jump on the attack, transition, and get on the offense.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's played. We've talked.
Yeah,
about it
I
quite a
think
bit.
so
I think
too.
he's
Yeah, he
really
seems to be more
taken a
confident
step.
and
Yeah.
running himself less into trouble.
He's understanding the game more, so he's more efficient.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not all over the map going herky-jerky
Right.
and wasting energy.
It's
He's under control more because he understands where he needs to be, where he has to move the puck. So the game is slowing down for him.
right.
Right.
Because he has a better understanding of the game.
Trevor Zegras gets traded here. He's definitely had a resurgence since coming back to the Flyers. What have you thought of his game? Or
He's been
what you've seen.
Yeah, he's been. I saw earlier in the year. I think he got 4 points in St. Louis when they came back and won that game. He served up a pizza early in the first, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And they got 2-2 that night.
Yeah, I remember.
And played really well, and I think that part of it, when you're an offensive threat like he is, you're gonna turn pucks over. It's no different than Michkov. You're gonna turn pucks over because you're gonna try things. You're creative, and I think that's the balance for a coach like Rick Tocchet of. You have to let them be creative offensively, but it's then more about the structure defensively, how you reload, how you come back in your defensive zone, how committed you are defensively to then get a quick turnover to then go back on the attack. And then it's like, okay, there's certain moments, game management, puck management, as we just talked about with Ottawa.
Right.
What is the score? What is the situation? What are we trying to do? Do we really want to go 1-on-3 when our defense have been out there for a minute and they're tired and they want to change? And, so situations like that, understanding the game within the game. And I think that's the teaching and the development process that Rick Tocchet really has to get a hold of with this team, is teaching that side of the game.
Right.
He understands it. He's been a Stanley Cup winning player, coach with Pittsburgh. So he understands all that stuff. And it's about instilling that in these players and talking through game management scenarios and things like that to get them to understand in these situations, this is what we're doing and this is why.
Right.
You know, players want to know why.
Why? Yeah.
Yes.
It's not do this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why am I doing that? Yeah. Why do you want me to do that? Why am I not challenging this guy one-on-one? Why do you want me to chip that? That's not my game. Well, this is why. These guys have been out there for a minute. They've been caught out there for a minute 15.
Yeah.
You get to change because you're the forward. The defenseman has to be there. They can't change.
Right.
So, like, understanding, you know, hey, your team should be yelling at you too. Your defensemen, I'm probably sure, are going to get you. Oh, that's right. They don't practice. So you can't chop the guy back. Hey, dump the puck in so I can change too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so understanding a lot of that stuff, it takes time. You know, especially when you're super creative like those offensive guys are, Zegras and Michkov. They're cookie monsters, man. They want to score.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And it doesn't matter if they're exhausted. They want to score because that's what makes them good.
That's right.
Yeah, and it seems pretty clear. I think no matter the coach, like you let your highly offensive guys obviously making plays at the right times in the right situations, right? You know, takes the top of the circles in or whatever. But it's really how you respond to the quote unquote turnover or the mistake that you've made is really having that Celebrini, as you mentioned, reload or that hunger to get it back. Yeah,
Because
if you have that, no coach on
rolling
the
of the
planet,
eyes of
exactly
from the player where you're like, buddy, you're the one that turned it over. Go get it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
think
be
if
a dog
you have
and a
that
bone.
energy, like no coach is ever gonna say anything if you try to make a play.
Exactly. No, 100%. And that's, you know, and I think that's the balance that they're trying to find. They want to teach, they want to develop, but you don't want to tamper down the offensive threat or the skill of the player, but you have to, it's hockey IQ, it's hockey sense. Like this is, and it's also the NHL. This isn't junior. We're not toe dragging guys out here.
Right.
Like you might toe drag once, and then you're going to be picking up your teeth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
a low percentage play.
Warriors right across your wrist there. Also, a guy that's really he looks like he's going to be an all-star is Owen Tippett. Like he's kind of up and down.
Yeah.
But God, when he's going, Riles just said this morning, did he get faster?
I was in Florida when we drafted him.
Oh, okay.
And then watched him in Mississauga, and some days, man, you're like, wow.
Yes.
This kid is a beast. And then other days you're like, where'd he go?
Didn't even notice him.
No. And I don't he is a conundrum because he is so skilled. Can skate, he's good size, incredible shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sick mitts. Honestly, I mean, I don't know what to say because I'm like, how does it not translate every night?
Right.
Like what is
with those ingredients, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what is holding you back? Like he's got all the tools, and as we say, he's got no toolbox. Well, what is? Why is he so inconsistent? Like what is holding him back from being able to compete like that night in, night out? I have yet to put my finger on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? How?
He's been more consistent this year for sure. I mean, I would say his on days are certainly more than his off days.
This year,
but I mean, when he first came to Philly, like you could see that we talk all the time. He's like he come flying down the wing and then miss the net and break the, you know what I mean? Break the other
He's
team
going the other way.
It was like these little things that were just like you're not even giving yourself a chance here,
Yeah.
you know. But now it's like he's definitely taking pucks to the net. You get 4 or 5 partial breakaways every game. Like it seems like the consistency is definitely there. But I agree. It's just like it's obviously
it
between
can
the
be
ears,
maddening
right?
because you're like, man, this guy can be
He's
so
a freak
good.
of nature. Yeah, I know. It's just
And then when he gets guys on a string and he's coming with speed and he can be so elusive for a big man.
Yeah.
Like it's incredibly frustrating because you're like, my God, you have it.
Yeah.
Like what is the problem?
Yeah.
Like that I really you can tell I'm frustrated because I watched it from junior all the way through and now you're seeing it since he came over in the G trade. Like well, it's not like he's a kid anymore.
Yeah. You're right.
Like, that's true.
You know, so it's just and when he's on though, it's impressive to watch.
Yeah.
It is.
Like
it
it is
really
impressive to watch. But the problem is I'm saying that when he's on.
Yeah.
Why can't you be on all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is an example of it's always between the ears, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you're a physical specimen, he's got all the boxes checked, right? I mean, strong, fast, shoot, like all of it.
Yeah.
But then it's like the consistency. It's just to be able to piece it together all the time. It's just like you wonder, like, is it prep? You know, is it confidence? Is it fear? You know, probably a little bit of all of it, right? I mean, we all deal with that stuff, but I mean, a high level performer, it's like, you know, like the consistency is what
he would be a good case study as to what are you doing different, if anything? Is it just matchups? Like, what is the?
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, like, is it the other team's like, you know what, we need to shut him down. I don't know. Like,
right.
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like he doesn't play in the top line. So, I don't know. He to me is the one enigma on this team where I'm like, and he has been his whole career. Like, he shows flashes where you're like, man, this kid could be so good.
Yeah.
And then
he's been better than he was in Florida.
Right.
And more consistent, but he's not there.
Yeah.
He's right here.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of hear his name. We haven't heard it recently, but in
I think
trade
that's just people. I think that's people looking at their roster, going, "Well, who would somebody want?
Yeah,
right.
That they would give up.
Yeah,
they're not going to give up Forster. They'd give up him over Forster.
Right.
So people look at that and go, "Okay, he's a big kid. He can score 30+ goals. You know, whatever. He can skate. Use him.
Yeah,
right.
Team would want him. You know. So I think it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean." You go on there and look at what some people.
What they're saying.
You got a bunch of lunatic Flyers fans. Oh, let's trade for Matthews and we'll give up a first and a used puck bag and something else. I'm like, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they're like, I would do that. I'm like, if you're a Flyers fan, no shit. If you're Toronto, you're going to look at that and go, no. You know, like, and that's the fantasy hockey element of these online trades.
Yeah.
There's two sides to the equation. You have to understand. It might work for Flyers fans.
That'd be great.
But is it going to work over here? And how do you match them? And how do you put the two together to actually try to facilitate a trade if that's what you're looking for?
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly. Well, speaking of that, how do you think Danny Briere, your former teammates, doing in this rebuild? I think we've talked about some of the moves he made in the summer were huge, like bringing in Dvorak.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dan Vladar has been
lights out.
outstanding.
Yeah, he's been
fantastic.
fantastic.
Trevor Zegras, like we had mentioned before. But how do you think Danny's doing?
Yeah, he's got a nice little pipeline with Anaheim.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Cutsy poo.
I think he's done a pretty good job. You know, I think when you look at the moves, you're trying to build through the draft, and this is the frustrating part. People are like, oh, we've been in a 12-year rebuild. He's been here 3. I get you want to put the other stuff. You want to put Hexy, Flip Fletcher. You want to put that on him. He's been here 3 years. Unfortunately, some of the moves before put them behind the 8 ball in a rebuild. They tried to fast track it.
Yeah. He's tried to clean that up.
You have to, clean up the cap. You have to clean up prospect pool. You got to get draft picks. You got to get all the rest of it. And then it's, unfortunately, and nobody wants to hear this, patience of getting these players to develop. Right. You want them to develop as fast as humanly possible, but you don't want to try to fast track them and stunt their growth and development and hurt their ability to get to the big club.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, everybody's like, okay, we want a tank. What kind of culture is that creating in your locker room? It's I don't want to do this, but it's a 50-50 of we want a top draft pick, but we don't want to completely create our organization to be horrendous.
Right.
And have no winning thought in our heads. And what athlete do you know that wants to lose? I don't give a shit if you're the last place team in the league. Every player on that team wants to win.
Yeah, and they're all playing for something. At
exactly.
The end of the day, right?
Number one, these guys are playing for jobs.
Yeah.
Playing for contracts, playing for pride. Right. Like, I'm sorry. Like, as much as you're like want to mail it in, maybe New York's mailing in. I don't know.
But one shot in the first.
But outside of that, it is. I think that's where people kind of lose sight of.
Yeah, you're right.
A winning mindset, so to speak, whether you're trying to tank for McKenna, whatever we're talking about.
Right.
Stenberg, McKenna, Verhoff, whatever. All these top guys in this year's draft. In a perfect world, you want to have a highly competitive team that in a rebuild, you get a top 3 pick, and you can utilize that as a bottoming off, if you will, and then build around that player and the players you got before that, and hopefully players coming. And, unfortunately, it's going to take, you got 6 overall, Porter Martone, I think, losing Gauthier hurt because he was going to be a key focal point on offense. But then you have, Michkov. Again, you're hitching your wagon to a 19-year-old, 18, 19-year-old. It takes time.
Right.
They're not going to come in and, again, we'll go back to the term, generational talent. That was first overall.
Right.
Not 5th, not 7th, not 8th, and so that's where I think when you hear rebuild and you're not picking first, and by the way, to my point, the Rangers picked first, they got Lafreniere and Kakko.
Yeah.
It depends on when you're picking first.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Depends on this draft's pretty deep. Maybe they'll get a great pick wherever I don't know where they're going to pick. I mean, they're fighting for a playoff spot right now.
Right, exactly.
So clearly they're not going to get a top 5 pick unless they win the lottery like the Islanders.
Yeah.
Which could happen if they don't make the playoffs. So, there's all kinds of different scenarios that can play out, but I would suspect that they've bottomed out and now they're kind of working their way up. And I think, the one issue I think for fans, and it's not only the Flyers, there are no free agents.
I was getting ready to ask you that, yeah.
With the cap going up as much as it's going to go up, even more now, I don't suspect there'll be very many free agents.
Yeah.
Most teams are going to lock up their own guys.
That's right.
That's what's been happening.
And we're seeing that more so. As you know, guys don't really want to move.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're giving me enough money, and maybe I could going to the highest bidder isn't always the best thing.
Right.
Might not be a great fit. Might not be a complementary piece for the team, whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's use Nick Schmaltz for an example in Utah. He would have been the only center on the market of that stature. He would have got more than $8 million.
Right.
I'll bet you would have got double digits. He would have got probably 11.
Wow.
Because he would have had about 6 or 7 teams bidding on him
That's true, yeah.
that have ample cap space, that are looking to fill a hole in their top 6. And if you're him, you're like, I like our team. We've got a lot of youth. I like it here. We've got some young prospects coming up. We're on the rise. Why wouldn't I want to be here?
Right.
Great ownership. He's committed,
really good.
Spending money. They've got outdoor game now. They've got all this stuff going on. Who doesn't want to be a part of that? And so I think thinking players are just going to want to leave stuff when that's all they know, it's not realistic.
Right.
And so that finding either, then it becomes you got to be creative in finding trades or, digging a little bit deeper into the free agent barrel.
Yeah.
And finding unique players that fit what you're trying to build, that are going to complement, hopefully, these younger, more offensively skilled players that are then going to be the top 6. How do you do that?
Right.
And that's going to be the balancing act for Danny B.
Sorry for the quick break, but all of you sports fans are going to love this. Riggs, I'm not sure if I told you or not, but GT Wholesale just moved to Haddonfield, New Jersey. They've been around since the 90s, which we know, as the East Coast distributor for Rydell Sports, bringing you the official NFL helmets and college football helmets.
But that's not all, is it, Nast?
No, it is not, buddy. They actually have tons of things on their website. They have tons of NHL hockey pucks, a whole lot more for sports fans everywhere. A lot of our buddies are going on there, checking it out. It's unbelievable. Check out gt-wholesale.com and do not forget to use coupon code NASTY for 15% off of your order. Again, it's gt-wholesale.com. Unbelievable website, so easy to use, and the stuff's amazing. That's what I was going to ask you. How to, everyone says Flyers need a 1D and a 1C. Well, who doesn't?
Yeah.
So,
buddy,
how do you do?
Fucking good luck.
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Well, by the way, I got a 1C. His name's Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 1D. His name's Matthew Schaefer. Oh, that's right. They went first overall.
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Sorry about
Two
that.
different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, if we're going to talk about the most recent two, I get a little aggressive there.
He's getting excited right now.
If you're gonna look at the most recent two, Matthew Schaefer's rounding himself into a nice little 1D, and then Macklin Celebrini, and you can go on down the list of first overall picks, but we'll see how this year plays out.
What about Robert Thomas? Would he be a good fit here in Philly? Or you think they'll move him? Because they didn't have to, right?
But here, and I think they were taking I think they were looking at what his value was.
Okay. And
what, if somebody was going to overpay, let's just take the Big East trade. If you're going to give me Peter Forsberg, Steve Duchesne, Mike Ricci, Ron Hextall, they gave up 6 players plus $15 million plus, plus.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're going to overpay to get the player, okay. And I think, again, we're going to go back to fantasy hockey stuff that Flyers fans want. Oh, yeah, let's go get him. Okay. Well, it's going to cost you Porter Martone. It's going to cost you, maybe Cam York or Jamie Drysdale. And then it's going to cost you a first. Yeah. And then it's going to cost you, it's going to be this, and this.
Yeah.
Well, now you're behind the 8 ball again. And is he a good player? Yeah. But what is it going to cost?
Yeah.
And
it's always
okay, well then who are you going to surround him with? Okay, so who are you going to play him with? Okay, you still have Tyson Forrester, and you got Tip, and you got Zegras, but is that going to be enough? And you got Michkov. Okay, is that going to be enough though?
Right.
You still got to look at the roster and go, okay. And by the way, do they like Porter Martone? And I'm using just him as an example.
Right.
Do they like him? They might not like him. The Flyers might like him.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that their scouts like him. Mm-hmm. So it. And if you're them, it just based on the other examples that I heard for him, they want a young center. Well, if you're Philly, why are you giving up a young center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want a young center. You want a top-end prospect. You want a first, and something else. Well, you're already not deep. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Right. You're stealing from Paul to pay Peter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now you're just making a different problem.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately at the end of the day, it's about winning by committee. It's about winning as a team, building that belief and building that will and want to win, and then supplementing in all these pieces as they develop. And now your team's getting better and better and better through all of these players that have come into the fold. Once you've reestablished your culture as to who are we, what are we all about, and how do we show up every single day?
Right.
Yeah.
You brought up Austin Matthews a few minutes ago. That mess in Toronto, poor Chief.
I was there. I was at that game.
Oh, no
I was
way.
at the game.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting, a friend of mine's seats, staring right at it. If there was a camera on me, they would have thought I was a sick man. Because I started laughing when I saw the hit, because I looked at all the players.
Looking for
And I'm looking at, I'm literally staring at Gudas right here as I'm looking at the camera. I'm staring right at it. I see it happen, and I'm looking, and he's like looking around.
Well, yeah.
He's looking around, knowing, okay, somebody's coming. And they all just, I'm like, what are we doing here, guys?
Oh yeah, that was something special.
It was, and the worst part, not only did they not respond in that regard, they didn't even go over and check on him.
Right.
Yeah, they're all so far away.
They were all
They're
like the trainer was there and they were gone. They didn't even check on him. I'm like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah. It's they've got a mess there, man.
I guess it's reflective of what's going on internally, right? I mean, clearly.
What do they do? What do you do?
What do you do?
TO? Like, I mean,
well, that's the huge $64 million question.
Yeah.
What do they do? Do they blow it up? Do they, fire everybody again? Do they add on the fringes? Do they trade one or two guys? Do they? That's up to ultimately that's up to ownership.
Right.
That's an ownership decision of what direction do you want to take this, because clearly it's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time something like that has happened where nothing has happened.
Right.
And it's not like, you guys know Chief, it's not like he's not going in there and going like, guys,
Yeah, exactly.
you got to protect one another. You got to be together. And that's, there's a bigger issue going on there than,
there's something.
than a coach's messaging. And by the way, that's not even a coach's message. That's a player message.
Right.
Yeah, that's a pride
That's a
thing,
togetherness. That's a
teamness.
pride.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a team thing.
Yeah,
It's,
for sure.
there's something bigger going on there that we don't know about.
Right, yeah. For sure. There's been lately like league-wise suspensions and talk about all that stuff. Your buddy George Peros.
Yeah.
The stash.
Mustache.
Didn't he break his hand on your head? Did we see him in Vegas and he's like, "Oh, I actually did this fight."
Well, he dropped me. I don't know if he broke it.
No. In Anaheim, you fought him again.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And he
Actually,
broke his
I
hand.
think he did. You're right.
It was a good fight.
Yeah.
That was a good fight, actually.
They're
The
talking
first
about
one,
Philly.
Actually.
The uppercut bomb.
I don't want to bring up that one, but
I definitely wasn't
He definitely didn't break his hand on that one.
definitely wasn't talking about that one. I didn't want to remind you of that one. I'm sorry about the other one. But how do you think Big George is doing? You had a hand in that because you suspended Goody, didn't you?
yeah, when he was here, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think that was the last time.
That was a long time ago.
2019.
Yeah.
was the last
No. I worked in player safety from 2015 to 2017.
Okay, so it was okay. It was
would've
before
been-
that. Yeah.
And
The last time he was suspended was in 2019. After this last 5
and
games.
then I left to go to Florida. But
Yeah.
so anyway, so I worked in that department for 3 years. It we go by the edict. If both sides are pissed off, you've done your job.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what people don't understand, the NHLPA is on both sides of the fence. They have the victim and the assailant. And they're fighting for both.
Right.
How, I have no idea, but they are. And I understand why. And then you're the league and you're like, okay, we're trying to keep the game safe, but it's a physical game.
Right.
It's a passionate game. And it's a reactionary game. So you think about it, like, things happen fast. You might have a bow come out. You might, you go to, hit a guy with your stick. Like the Gudis one, it took me a while to really get a sense of what he was doing. He got caught out of position.
Yeah.
And from the one angle, from the back angle, kind of behind the net, you can see what he was doing. He took off to get stick on puck because he thought Matthews was going to shoot. And then he pulled it, dragged his leg, and he went through his leg. So he was going 100 miles an hour to get stick on puck,
Right.
to hopefully let it get up in the crowd. And then I got to get a piece. Yeah. Then it's, he's wired.
Yeah, of course.
I got to get a piece. Well, Matthews is dragging his leg.
Yeah.
So I understand both sides of the equation. I understand what he was doing, what he was trying to do, stick on puck, why he went over so fast. If he's not going that fast, you're not going to have that type of collision. But he was trying to get stick on puck.
Right.
Then he mistake, tries to get a piece, drags his leg, takes out his knee. Obviously all that occurs. The problem is there's precedent and there's verbiage in the CBA that tells the Department of Player Safety what you can and cannot suspend a guy. The PA is arguing for less every time. Like I've had guys call me, like Getsy called me one time. Rafi Torres got, 10 games or whatever it was. When he called me, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, buddy, you're with the PA. I'm not part of the PA anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, go in there and complain. Open up the CBA and fix it. You guys fix it, not me. I can't change it.
Right.
I'm sitting there in these meetings and we're going over, once we decide, okay, it's going to be a suspension, it rises to the level of supplementary discipline, it's going to be a suspension. What is the precedent? What does it say in the CBA? Is he a repeat offender? Meaning, and when you hear repeat offender is for money. On the other side of repeat offender has he done this particular incident more than once? So if you're looking at Gudas, he's sprinkled the infield. He's got a knee, he's got a headshot, he's got an elbow, it's not the same thing. So he's not a serial offender in taking out knees,
right,
so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, okay, he's a repeat offender for money. Not in this case because it's been more than 18 months, but
Right.
if it was, the repeat offender moniker is about money and how much you lose. That's all that moniker means. It doesn't mean that you've done it over and over and over again. That's more of a serial offender in one particular subset of the rule book.
Gotcha.
And so, as you know, like I suspended 8 times for 8 different things. You might call me a repeat offender, but I did
Technically
8 different.
not.
Technically not.
Yeah.
Technically, as it relates to losing the money, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in the offense. It was a different one every time. And so when you're
Stealth
looking
mode.
at that, the precedent, it's not like if you, like Rafi Torres, okay? The reason we got him up to 40 games, we kept hitting guys in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he kept catching,
Yeah.
well, I should
Pretty
say
good at it.
he kept catching guys with their head down.
Yeah.
Right.
well, that's
So
good.
then it's like, okay, 10, you go, I think it was, we went, 1 wasn't as bad, so we went 4, then we went, I think we doubled to 8, then it was, okay, now we're at 20, then we went to 40, something.
Jeez.
It was like the rest of the year, and I think it was like 43 or whatever it was. And so, but it isn't until you get to like 5, 6, 7 times before you can really whack a guy, and there's no precedent to that, so you can make up a number. What is it? Where is it going to hurt the most? You're done for the year, right? So it's that part of the rule book and that part of the job. People think like, and I got all these guys in the media that I like and I know, and they're like, "Oh my God, what? That's so brutal." I'm like, "Okay, great, but do you guys even know the job?
Right.
And do you even know this is in the rule book? Like, stop complaining.
Yeah.
You can't just arbitrarily, randomly throw out, you get 10 games. The PA is going to go, why? Where does it say that you can give them 10 games? So then, and we've heard them all talk about this. Well, then they're going to grieve it, and then they're going to go to court, and then they're going to get it reversed,
Right.
which is fine. But you can't just arbitrarily throw out a number. Like the AJ Greer one, that was dirty.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the rule book. Like, it was super dirty.
Mm-hmm.
You probably could have given him anything. But from a NHL, PA, grievance, what have you, they're looking at it. They know what's in there. They're like, no, you can only do this.
Right.
Like, you can only give him this.
I never knew all
Because
Yeah, I
also
know,
you got to
yeah.
remember it's money out of the player's pocket.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
they are defending the player. It's the player is hurt. Matthews hurt, Gudas suspended. And then we always hear, oh well, why don't we just have the player suspended as long as the guy's hurt?
Wow.
Yeah,
That doesn't
not
work.
realistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it
not.
could be it's not always that simple.
Right.
While a player may get suspended for something, it may have been an accident.
Yeah, well, totally. Yeah.
Like, it may have
Other
been,
variables
but
there.
so now I'm going to miss that many games. It was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. Do you think he went in there with his stick like this thinking, I'm going to take this guy's knee out?
No.
No. He went like this. I'm going to get in there. What Matthews didn't realize is that it was him.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
And he should have known, don't drag my leg.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you're leaving yourself susceptible too. Like, I'm not blaming him, but yes, that takes some onus of, you left yourself vulnerable.
There is an ownership in it, though, right?
You
And
left
this is where
yourself
have to-
vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you
it's
just eat-
no
or you
different
eat the
than I'm
check.
coming to hit you, and you're like, well, I'm going to turn my back.
Turn my back. Yeah, that's right.
The onus is upon you. You saw me. We made eye contact.
Yeah.
I am finishing you.
Yep.
And you're like, no, you're not. Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. I
That's
agree
your
with
fault.
that, for sure.
So
This is
there's,
where, yeah,
there's
eating the
there's
eating the check
situations
and-
like that I think the league under Don Fear was terrible. The players, it was awful. Like, the game was terrible. Mm-hmm. And now, as we've slowly gotten rid of the Don Fear era, and we've gotten back, like, just the passion in the game, the physicality, the aggression, the will to win, to compete is back. And now players, I think, for the most part, are willing to take the hit. They're not turning their back. They're not doing the things that they were doing before. But we still have moments, I think, where guys' skill takes over and their brains don't. They don't think they're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't think about the worst possible outcome. And so I was talking to a GM, and I'm like, he's probably not going to try that move again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
So true.
and unfortunately,
Yeah.
like highly skilled player, best player in Toronto, captain, on and on and on. And, maybe it's good for Toronto right now with what they're going through.
Yeah.
And trying to get that draft pick and what have you. But, and maybe this, with everything that surrounded that incident, maybe it puts a light on, maybe they figure out what's going on in that locker room.
Right.
What's going on with that team and what, sometimes difficult moments call for a lot of reflection and you're
Right.
able to figure things out.
Yeah, for sure. Today's March 24th, Riggs. We need Prongs' pick for the Stanley Cup. Who do you got, buddy?
Oh, shit. Oh, boy. This is the first time I've had. Let me take a peek here.
Check your picks.
Let me get my
No, I'm
Pull it out here.
Yes,
Let's see.
I'm looking at. Oh shit! Hold on.
Are you asking AI?
No,
Whatever it's
no. I'm looking at. I don't think the winner is going to come from the West.
You
I
don't?
think the West is going to beat itself up. When you look at, you're going to lose one of Colorado, Minnesota, or Dallas. However, when you think about it, it's got to. I think it's going to come from. You know what's crazy? Buffalo, man.
I was getting ready to say.
I'm telling you. You know what? And the only reason I say that.
Something.
The only reason I say that, I don't know if they'll do it, but just the belief that they have.
Yes.
All the shit that they've gone through over the last 14 years since we kicked their ass,
Yeah.
Yep.
and everything they've gone through, and all the ups and downs, and the heartache, and the beatings, and the questions,
And the coaches and
but think about that franchise. Think about the development there. Outside of drafting Eichel, they're 1C. Did they get a 1C? How'd they?
Yeah.
Where did they get one?
Yeah,
so, like,
that's
if you're
true.
talking about the Flyers, what they did draft was a 1D,
Yeah.
a damn good one.
Yeah.
And so, that's probably the only difference right now. If you're looking at the teams and how they're built, they traded for Josh Norris, they traded for Tage Thompson.
Yeah.
They've, other than drafting the back end, a lot of the guys up front, they've traded for.
Right.
Yeah.
So, now, mind you,
They traded away a lot of
No,
pieces.
they had to trade. They had to trade some top picks too.
Yeah, picks.
So
They did.
A little bit of a difference there,
Yeah.
but to that point, like, it's doable. You have to figure out, okay, where can I find a 1D? Quinn Hughes, 7th overall, bud. Like,
Yeah.
they're there.
They're there.
They're there. So, you don't have to have the first pick to get that 1D or
Yeah.
1C sometimes. You
Yeah.
talk about Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
He went 20th overall.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I think
like,
about that.
there's players to be had. Pasternak.
Yeah.
Think about him. Where did he go? 28th or whatever he was.
It's crazy.
Like, so there's you can find, it takes some luck. It takes, somebody falling to you and
Right.
what have you, but they're there. There's potential there. But I would say I'm going to go Tampa.
Tampa.
Just, I like everything about Buffalo. I like what they're about. The moves they made. I like the Carrick pickup was great. I think that's exactly the type of player they needed up front. I'm not maybe sold on the back end, but they play hard. They play for one another.
Yeah.
They play fast. The one issue, can they defend? You know, they score a lot of goals, they give up a lot of goals. So it's
True.
Can they defend? And that's where I think Tampa, in the long run, in a 7-game series, they can defend.
They're buttoned up.
They have structure. They're highly competitive. They can score goals when they need it from more than one line.
Right.
And, you know, that goalie. Like, you know, that's it. He's won before.
Yeah.
That's to me, if I'm looking at teams, he's done it before. He's got the pedigree. He's got championship, about, you know, culture and Stanley Cups to his name. Buffalo doesn't. You know,
Right.
if I'm looking at those two, you know, and there's some other teams that could potentially be there, but, you know, that would be, if you're looking at who can come out of the East, as silly as that sounds.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That, you know, Riggs. That, well,
You
weren't
believe,
there.
like, at the beginning of the year,
I know.
are these guys going to finish last? And now they're, by the way, they're 4 points up on Tampa.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. That we're in Buffalo, game 6. I get the call. Fool, hang my gear. I'm in. But he had the bad moneymaker, the back. But he goes on first shift. We get a power play, so Lavi puts you in front of the net.
Yeah.
Right? He's
I
got a
remember
bad
that.
back.
Yeah.
Tyler Myers fucking. He ends up in
Mention
the
it.
box, and I'm like, oh no. But we come back. We win game 6, Ville, with the overtime goal, and then we just smoked them in game 7. But that's the last time, man.
Yeah.
They've been in
You
the
believe
playoffs.
that?
They're going to be in it this year.
Oh.
They're in it.
I'll tell you what,
Lindy.
that building will be buzzing.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah.
God.
The energy in there now is
Yeah.
awesome to see.
That's cool, man. It really is.
Because
So by the way, think about that. Then think about here. If you can get back, if you can get,
Yeah.
but again, it takes time.
Right.
And I know nobody wants to hear that. Do you want to be one and done and then not go back again for 4 years, or do you want to be here
Right.
and be in the conversation every year that you're there?
Yeah. It's interesting how that played out too. Like the general manager, like you see a shift a lot of times with coaches changes,
Yeah.
not the GM,
Right.
to turn it on like that, and like whether that had anything to do with it or not. But we were always busting on Lindy. We're like,
Yeah, we joke around. I told him Nolan's coming back for his 5th stint if this doesn't work out, you know, because Lindy's
we're like
been-
Lindy's the logjam here.
Yeah.
It's like, but clearly
man,
not.
no,
I mean, it's just,
God.
he's obviously a great coach. Just didn't have the
Yeah, well, I got to be honest.
Puzzle
I
pieces.
think it's more the players.
right. Yeah, I agree.
think Darlene has
Yeah.
taken hold of the room. Tage Thompson's taken hold of his
Yeah.
career. Like,
Yeah.
you look at the players in the locker room, more mature. Look at Matthias Samuelsson.
Yeah.
More
Yes.
mature, more experienced. You know, again, we talk about the Flyers. We talk about Buffalo. Gaining valuable experience, heartache, loss, adversity, challenge.
Right.
Now they're like, okay, now they're hardened.
Yeah, right.
Now they've got the grit and the resilience that they need to overcome
yeah.
the shit that we all know happens during the course of a season.
Yeah.
And they're meeting it head on now.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
They
they're
are.
sticking together and they believe in one another and
That's
they've
right.
got that
Yeah.
togetherness.
It's incredible records. It's-
Yeah.
I mean, you being Canadian, you just pointed at your phone. What, you want me to bring it up?
What? What are you talking about?
He's like, Olympics.
Oh yeah.
And he's Canadian. He's
Yeah.
lost some money. He ain't paying
Oh,
up yet.
rigatoni.
Tony. I got some money to pay.
You know what? Sometimes for it to be a rivalry, you got to let the other side win.
It's a good point. Yeah. It's
And
not
by the way,
rivalry if they win all the time.
it's all about growing the game.
yeah, right.
It was part of the
It's
script.
global. Yeah.
It's global.
Hey,
It's part of the script.
isn't there scripts now in sports? Like,
I
isn't this
think
part of
you're
the
right.
script?
I think you're right. No, it was
all
entertaining.
pre-planned.
I know it's
Yeah.
been a month now.
Yeah, it was a
since it's
good.
been over, but
I think it was great for the game.
Yeah, agreed.
Great for USA hockey. Great for
Yeah.
the growth of hockey in America. You know, always. I mean, how can we hear Mike Ruzini talk anymore?
yeah.
Like 1980. Like
know.
let's. Now we got
That's
Jack
what he
Hughes.
said.
face, yeah.
I know, by the way, and that's what he says. He's
Yeah.
like, enough.
We had him on, and he
Yeah.
was like, "I want them to win." So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you can retire from
Yeah,
being
exactly.
the
So
spokesperson,
46
yeah.
years later, we got Jack Hughes.
Yeah,
now he
exactly.
can take the reins.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, it.
Exactly.
You know, you need moments like that. And you need just think about what 1980 did for hockey
Yes.
in America, and now what this. You know, it was already exploding, and now, you know, for both the men's and women's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
what it'll do. Both, you know, and both of those games, overtime, both exciting,
Right.
Both, you know, well played, showcasing the talent, the skill level of the athletes. It's awesome.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. And we talk about this, and obviously everybody witnessed this, but like just like when it goes your way, it goes your way. When it's not going your way,
bounces
don't go your way. That's just the way that it's nature of the game, and that's a classic example. You get
McKinnon puts that in the net how many times out of 100?
If you look at that game, outside of the first maybe 10 minutes of the game, Canada dominated.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Full domination.
Yeah. Oh, no. Full domination.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Like, how many times you play a game, you're like, you feel like you're just taking. All of a sudden you get one chance, boom, you can score.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's an interesting game sometimes, but it was definitely great for the sport globally and
it's going to make the World Cup that much more intriguing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The next Olympics,
Yeah,
now, from Canada all the way through the other countries, like they got, now we'll see how the U.S. likes having a target on their back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Beefing
see.
up for next one.
We'll see. We'll be ready.
Put money in. Put money down.
You'll be American by then. You'll have a citizenship.
Look at the
by then.
dually.
Yeah,
Still
you're
gonna
going
go Canada.
to be like Hexy,
gonna-
USA, Canada, whoever wins. It has Lappy.
He's gonna be-
Lappy's same way.
Double dip in his
God
passport.
bless- He always puts his hand there. God bless America. I'm like, Lappy, if Canada wins, you're American.
No Canada.
Beast, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
The book.
Yeah, earn.
Yes.
By the way, you know where you can find it?
Let us know.
ChrisPronger.com/book if you want, or Amazon.
April 14th.
April 14th it releases. Pre-sales are open now. Amazon.com. Barnes & Noble.
We're going there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
go to Amazon.com. That's probably the easiest outside of my website.
Gotcha.
Get the Prime shipping on your website. Overnight, be there next day.
I mean, if you're a Prime member, I can't give you Prime.
ChrisPronger.com?
Yeah.
Are you a Prime member?
I am a member for sure.
Man,
So
that's wise of you, Rig.
yeah, we'll sell shipping. People want it in their hands.
Yeah,
Quickest shipping.
hot little hands. Yeah.
Can't
So
wait.
yeah,
awesome. Good
you'll
for you,
see it
man.
up here. You'll probably see it right about here. ChrisPronger.com/book.
Baller can do
You'll
that.
see a picture of my book right about here.
That's right. Baller. I owe him one, though.
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah, you. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, boys.
And your Uber
It's good to be here in person.
Yeah, I know, right? And this guy out here is losing his mind.
you know.
Where are you?
I'm shocked he hasn't honked.
Me. Oh, man.
My Vespa's here to pick me up.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, we appreciate you, man.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Coming
You guys
on.
heard it here first. Nasty Knuckles.